What is going on, Flagrant family? Thank you for tuning in to another week of the Flagrant 5. We got a lot of news to dive into. A lot of juicy stuff's been happening the past 2 weeks. Got a nice medium rare steak. So let's have Ed cut into it within the loop.
All right, David, thank you so much. We got a good bit of news to get into today. The biggest news is the All-Star reserves got announced, and there's a lot of controversy around them. It's pretty exciting. We all knew what was going to happen with the starters. No, we had no big issues with the starters, right, guys?
Nah, not without a doubt.
Now we're going to go over the reserves. I'll list them out before we get into them. So in the West, we have Anthony Davis, but he's been replaced by Devin Booker. We have Paul George, Gobert, Lillard, Mitchell, Paul, and Zion. In the East, we have Brown, Harden, Levine, Randall, Simmons, Tatum, and Vooch. Now, first off, everyone around the room, does anyone have a problem with the list?
One problem, Chris Paul. I think he didn't deserve it over Booker. I mean, Booker did make it, but he shouldn't have been an injury replacement in the first place. Like, if AD was healthy, it wouldn't have went to Devin Booker. I mean, I think Chris Paul is a great player. I don't think he deserved it over a player like, Devin Booker, even Brandon Ingram. He's been playing amazing too.
Yeah, I agree with him. I do think that CP3 shouldn't have made it over Devin Booker. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second, but yeah, I do think he should not have made it over Devin Booker. But I'm glad to see him in the game at least.
Yeah, I noticed one name not being in there, and his name's Domantas Sabonis. And I saw this stat earlier where it says Domantas Sabonis is the only player in NBA history to average 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists and not make an all-star team.
Really?
To me, that's pretty crazy. I don't know who he would replace in the East.
Randall.
They consider
That's debatable. I think Randall could be replaced, but I mean, it's either or.
It's just tough. I definitely feel like he deserves a spot.
I feel like just for this year, because I really think Jason Tatum made it this year based on his name, because he's been out for quite a while with a lot of COVID, and he's still got in. Granted, he's been playing well the past week or two, but to be gone that much and still make it when Domantas Sabonis has been healthy the entire time and producing how he's always been producing on some really solid numbers and some really solid deep statistics, and he doesn't make it, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I personally totally agree with David. Let me start with my East. I think I would swap two players, and they're the exact players evident. Or no, actually they're not. But Tatum, I would swap out. I think for Trae Young, and Vooch, I would swap out for Sabonis. What do you guys think about that?
Vooch, I don't know, because Vucevic has been insane.
Vucevic's been out of his mind lately.
I might put Trae Young in it. I don't know.
It's just crazy that Trae Young went from a starter to not even being in the All-Star game.
Isn't he averaging 27 and 8?
He's going crazy.
Crazy.
It's not very efficient, but my thing is all right, Atlanta and Orlando are one game apart. I hate to be this guy, but Trae Young fits an all-star game way more than Vooch does. But on the other hand, Vooch is carrying a crippled Orlando team, but he's not carrying them anywhere. But Hanuk and David, what do you guys think, Young or Vooch?
For the sake of the All-Star game, I'm taking Young. But in general, if I was building a team, I'm taking Vooch 29 out of 29 times.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
It's really tough because Trae Young's in a case where he's performing like he did last season, a little bit more inconsistent. Obviously, his average has dipped, but there's more people who are now in contention or more deserving of an all-star role because the East was good. Just face it, the East has always been butt cheeks. There's no doubt about it. But now you have people coming out the woodworks like Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown. Vooch is playing out of his mind, so it's kind of hard to disperse all of that acknowledgement when you have all these people playing out of their minds. And I feel like Trae Young was just the odd man out of the rotation this year.
Yeah, the amount of talent that's in this league this year is insane. Looking at all the players, some players averaging 20, and it feels like it's not. If a couple years back, if they were averaging 20, the year Derrick Rose won MVP, he averaged 25, 7, and 8. Nowadays, it's barely even an all-star. Like looking back at it, it's insane.
I'm gonna give you a name of someone who's averaging 20 points per game this season. That I'm willing to bet most of you didn't know this. Malik Beasley on the Timberwolves is averaging 20 points a game this season.
On my fantasy team.
I only know that in fantasy, so
Yeah,
That's
I saw a very interesting video that delved into the statistics as to why that's happening, and just it's more than just like possessions and like how offenses revolutionize. Although that's a good part of it, but like seeing how many 130-point games there's been, I think we're projected to have 140 130-point games this year, and 10 years ago there was like 20. It's that scoring boom. It's just ridiculous to think about.
I do want to say this as well. I know you guys mentioned Trae Young being a snub. And you guys know it's obviously there's a fan vote and there's a coach's vote as well. I've heard this thing around recently where coaches do not like Trae Young, especially the way he plays. Apparently, people are calling him the new James Harden with the amount of free throws he's been drawing, the way he's drawing these fouls. So, I mean, coaches apparently do not like him one bit. I think Steve Nash he said like, I hate Trae Young's games. It's disgusting to watch.
It's just annoying to watch, but like again, it's basketball, and he's a smart player.
It's a smart move, like James Harden. I mean, I don't like how he plays this game, but it's smart. It gets him buckets, and he wins game because of it. And I feel like you can't hate on Trae Young for doing the same thing. It's smart. He's taking advantage of his size. He's small.
Right. I was about to say he kind of has to play like that. It's not like he's like 6'8" and just like flopping all over the place. He's a tiny dude for NBA standards.
He's not even flopping. Like some of these are legit, like just smart moves. Like if it was flopping, I'd have way more of a problem. But a lot of these things, he's just not straight up flopping. He's drawing foul.
Yeah. Based off of what he looks like, I feel like coach is just frustrated because he's extorting the game as a skill, which is why a lot of people hated James Harden's game. But Trae Young, he's 6'1", like 180.
You know what's kind of funny though? We're hypocritical about that. He has James Harden on his team, Steve Nash, and look who's talking.
Yeah, but Harden's on a whole nother level. To be fair,
I mean, yeah, he's a whole other level of that. But I mean, with the amount of free throws he draws, can you say he's like on the same level as Trae Young? Probably even more. The way he draws these fouls.
That is true. He averages insane amount of attempts.
I know Trae Young's averaging, I want to say 10 free throws a game this year. He's making 9 out of 10. I think Harden's still leading the league. I think he's at like 13 or something along there. He's still crazy. I think he's leading the league. It might be Trae Young. I'm not sure, but I know James Harden is definitely up there as well again.
Back to the East All-Star. First of all, I want to say this. I've been watching like hella videos about covering the reserves who got snubbed. It is a pet peeve of mine. I hate when someone says someone gets snubbed, but they don't say who they would replace. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
That is so annoying. I hate that shit. But anyways,
there's always going to be snubs.
Yeah, like I'm about to say 2 names. I can't think of who they would replace, but Bam and Jimmy, the 2 Heat, especially Bam. I really thought he was going to make it, but I mean, maybe over Vooch, like I said, but I have Young over both of them, so I don't know.
Not enough mouths to feed with that All-Star team list. There's only 12 spots in comparison to the 15 per team, and the league's booming in terms of production that you can't satisfy everybody.
Okay, before move on to the West, does anyone have a problem with Brown, Harden, Levine, Randall, or Simmons making the team?
I'm being honest. Quite strange coming from me. I think Ben really didn't deserve it all too much. I mean, he's been playing great. Don't get me wrong, he's been playing great, but like you said, over a player like Trae Young, over a player like Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler's like the only case where he's like, he was gone for like 2-3 weeks due to COVID. But I mean, you weren't best team in the East, so.
Am I hearing things?
Mo slandering Simmons for first time?
I'm not slandering him. I'm just saying that,
Am I hearing a Sixers fan saying Simmons doesn't deserve it?
I'm not saying he deserved it. I'm saying there could have been players that deserve it just as much as he did.
Wow.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Even his teammate, I think Tobias Harris deserved a nod as well. He was actually really, really good this season.
All turning a new leaf. I like it.
Okay.
I'm still shouting out my other Sixer here and Tobias Harris, so come on.
Yeah, to be fair.
I mean, but like,
I heard David's opinion on this. I forgot if I heard the rest. What about Tatum? I don't think he should have made it, but what do you guys think?
Tatum, I mean, I agree completely with David. I mean, he did miss a lot of games due to COVID and some injuries, but the way he's been playing, you just can't deny that. And like David said, he's a big name, and I feel like A big name's always going to make it over a player that's been doing good and under the radar.
Oh man, I think Colin Sexton deserves a spot over No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Colin Sexton's literally dog water.
I don't know
Jesus.
about all that.
That's dog water.
I will take him over Ben Simmons.
I can't even lie. I'm taking Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I'm taking Ben Simmons every day, bro.
Nah, I was just trying to see what Mo would say.
I know you were kidding or trolling something. I'm just gonna let it slide. Whatever.
Do I take over Ben Simmons? Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy
Yeah,
Grant.
now you're on some nice little ganja, bro.
I know you're not. You're a Michael Porter Jr. supporter, diehard number one
I mean,
fan.
he's gonna be a starter next year, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. He doesn't have another back surgery.
Oh,
Damn.
ooh.
Have Jeremy Grant get another shot hit over him to get out of the playoffs.
Okay.
Was choked the night season.
I mean, I'm super happy to see Levine on. I'm sure people are happy to see Randall and Brown. But anything else on the East, boys?
Covered it all.
The West, first of all, is Mike Conley the best player ever to not make an All-Star team?
He's definitely up there.
He's got to be.
He's got to be up there, 100%.
This was like
so consistent. Yeah.
He's debatably the best player in Memphis history, and he's never made an All-Star team.
this was his
You're gonna
year
say that
outside of
with
the
Powell and Mark there.
I'm saying debatably. You can make a case.
There is
for
this
it.
one dude, I'm not gonna do a roof.
Moved Abdul Rauf. Yeah, I mean, I
Very
get
good.
it. Jason Williams.
I don't know how to pronounce his first name.
Mike Bibby.
Yeah. He's good.
Can we all agree though? I think Ja has probably the most potential to be that number one player right now.
If he learns how to land properly.
Yeah, dude, his lands scare me.
They're very
It's like
scary.
Derrick Rose.
That's all. I get flashbacks to that, and I don't want to become too big of a fan of Ja. And if something happens, it's going to be heartbreak again.
Yeah. It's like Vietnam flashbacks whenever I see him drive to the hoop.
fucking scary, dude. Those athletic players. Shout out to Triple J, but anyways, so like you guys said, Devin Booker, he got in. I know AD. I know there's a lot of problems originally, but would you guys, all right, considering that Booker is now in the All-Star, would you guys keep Chris Paul?
Still no.
Don't know.
I think
Who would you replace him with?
Ingram.
I don't think so.
I feel like Ingram's so much more debatable in my opinion. I mean, obviously the Suns have one of the best records in the NBA right now. They've been playing really well. Chris Paul's a big part of that, but
That team.
I think Ingram is just a player that you can't deny deserves it just as much as Chris Paul. I'm not saying he should definitely be replaced, but it's a thing you could think about.
I'm on the same wavelength with Mo.
Really, I think you leave Chris Paul in because the Suns were, all right, minus the bubble. He finally got them into playoff contention. They're a real legit team now. He leads the Suns in every stat except for scoring, I believe.
And rebound.
Oh yeah, probably. But without that team, or without Chris Paul, that team's pretty much nothing. But same with
100%.
Ingram, but I think it's because of the record.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I agree with Mo and Dave. That's not really I can add to.
No, I think I'm gonna agree with that. I think I'm gonna keep Chris Paul in.
It's just hard because Chris Paul's such an all-star like legend, so it's hard to leave him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, another name I want to throw out there is Rosen.
He has been playing really well this year.
I think the time off really hurt him.
It did definitely. A lot of postponed games, a lot of COVID going on in San Antonio.
Because the Spurs were looking nice.
They've been looking really good. DeMar really stepped up his game. He changed his game completely. He's more of a playmaker now. Something really awesome to see.
Right. Okay.
He's one of my favorite players, and like just seeing him get traded from the Raptors after they said they wouldn't trade him, like that was heartbreaking. Granted, they got a chip out of it, but still.
Facts.
It's worth it, sadly. But let's see. Any problems with George, the two Jazzes, Zion, or Dame? Any problems? I don't personally.
Not at all.
Gobert, man, I don't know.
It's just so because I feel like Gobert deserves it with how he's been playing, but no one wants to watch him alter people's shots for 24 minutes.
Did you guys see him get dropped by LeBron tonight?
No.
Not.
He got dropped, but he missed the shot, so it doesn't count.
Oh.
Yeah,
LeBron made him fall, and then he missed the shot.
Yeah, you see how big that dude's shoes are? He's basically walking in canoes.
Literally.
Wait. So Dave, you would I'm not like would you take Rudy off for someone else, or are you just saying like you don't like watching him?
It's like I don't know, because Rudy Gobert definitely deserves it. I feel like he should be in there. It's just his game is so. It's like Tim Duncan. His game is not entertaining to watch, but it's so fundamental and like perfect that it deserves to be in there.
I do want to say this: if Cat didn't get COVID, would you guys take Cat over Gobert in the All-Star game? If he didn't get COVID, Cat would have been a lock, right?
It depends what the Wolves' record's looking like.
I don't think the record matters that much, man.
Yeah, record really does not mean much for All-Star games.
Yeah,
I mean, I
especially
think
if you see how
Well,
Devin
like
Booker.
Cat.
Or Beal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the narrative for Devin Booker was, oh, he's not winning. Now he's winning and he doesn't get in. Like record.
I was literally about to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would take Cat over Gobert.
I might take Cat, but I do not think he would get voted in over
Really?
Gobert. You guys know what I'm saying?
He would because
Yeah.
the mass. It's just some mass media.
Wait, do you think
Jazz,
he's not going to be voted in by the fans or by the coaches?
coaches, but I feel like Gobert would still get hella votes because of how good the Jazz are,
Yeah, with
That's
Tom
fair.
Brown.
and Minnesota's fucking awful.
Aren't they the worst team in the league right now?
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
I think they are.
Last
Now
time I
the
checked, they were
one-
6-21.
That's kind of sad.
Last time I checked, they were 6-21.
The Magic is a team. That's sad that they're worse than the Magic.
They're shooting Anthony Edwards' typical night. It's tough.
All right. Some people in the West that didn't make it. Not saying they should have, but SGA, Fox, Ingram, Conley. I think those are like the four off the top of my head. Am I missing anyone?
I thought of one in the East, Clint Capella.
Oh, Capella and Middleton too.
I'd say Middleton more.
Middleton.
So,
I don't know about Capella.
Middleton's been playing cracked out of his mind this season.
Recently,
He's
everybody got
consistent.
COVID, not so much anymore, but I
At
think
the start,
there was some appreciation there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed, by the way, for Middleton. You taking Middleton off my hands.
I do want to give a little shout out to SGA. He did just drop a career high tonight of 42. And of course, it's against me in fantasy. So, shout out SGA.
Oh,
And Dort hit that buzzer beater.
game
He
winner.
hit a buzzer beater today.
Mo's a happy man, I'm sure.
I'm a very happy
Linguini
Thunder
Dort.
fan.
What was SGA's stat line? 42, 8, and 4?
He was very close to a double-double. I think he had more assists than that, I believe. I'm not sure.
That's insane.
Did he have more assists? I thought he had more than that.
Pretty sure it's 42, 8, and 4. I was looking at our matchup.
But I definitely like SGA a lot. One
Yeah,
of my
it is
favorite
42,
players
8, and
in the
4.
league. Yeah,
By
I
the
think
way-
his pointers made. Jeez.
If SGA played more games, I think he'd be a for sure lock for an
Yeah, and that was another thing with injuries he had to deal with.
Agreed.
Okay, I just thought of something next episode. I don't think we're gonna have time today, but we should, if they're not announced, we should make our dream event list. Yes, it's like dunk contest, skills challenge, 3-point.
Oh, I like
I'd be
that.
down.
I'll
We
be
should
down.
do that. All
I'd
right,
be down
but
for that.
wait, one last thing on the All Stars. Who are the coaches? The teams?
I have no
Well,
idea.
It'd be Doc Rivers and Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
Did that get announced?
Well, it's just the coaches of the two best teams in
Yeah,
each
that's
Oh.
country.
usually what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's everything on the All Star reserves, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this debate. I'm gonna have Mo and Hanuk break down what is about to go down. So take it away, boys.
All right.
No, do you want to go first or should I?
You can go first.
All right, I'll say less. Obviously, this is the MVP debate. You guys know who I'm rooting for. My boy, Nicholas. Just kidding. Psych, it's Joel Embiid. Of course, he's the MVP. I mean, when you're shooting 53% from the field goal, 40% from three, taking 3 a game, and you're getting 11 rebounds, 29 points a game, 3 assists, a steal and a half, and a block and a half as well. That's wild. That's kind of D-point numbers. That's my MVP. And I want to say this one crazy stat line I saw. He's taking just as many mid-range shots as Kevin Durant, and he's shooting them more efficiently than Kevin Durant. That's
Shit,
wild.
I didn't know that.
And one more thing I want to say, the Sixers are buns without him. They're buns. they're 1-5 without Embiid, which is awful. They need Embiid, and that's what the most valuable player is. I mean, you got to be the most valuable to your team. It don't matter if you're putting up 40 a night and still losing. If you're valuable to your team and you're getting them wins and you're first in the conference, that's what gets you MVP.
All right. You didn't finish?
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So you said Embiid's averaging 29, 11, and 3. Nikola is averaging 27, 11, and 8. He's sixth in the lead in assists, and he's shooting more efficiently from 3, and he's shooting better in the field, and he has a higher PER than Embiid. All those stuff.
What's his shooting percentage?
Embiid, Nikola shooting 56% from field goal range, 40.1%
from 3.
No, my bad. 40. It's the same.
41.
Embiid shoots 40.3.
Oh
Anyways.
my God, wow. Like,
Anyways.
Embiid a difference, and Embiid shooting 3% from the field.
Anyways.
3% of
shown in past years, in the past, as such as Russell Westbrook and other teams that have not had other players that have had insane seasons that have not won there's been players that their team has been 6th seed and won MVP, such as Russell Westbrook. He had a triple-double season and he won MVP with that year. Also, he's the reason why Nikola's team, we haven't seen how Nikola's teams perform because he hasn't missed a game. Then Embiid has missed 6 games this season already. Nikola has played every game.
Hold on. I'm sorry, but why does him missing no games?
No, I'm saying because you're saying how the Sixers are bad without him. But
but then the Nuggets are
bad. The argument on the Nuggets because Nikola has played every game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's what I was saying. Oh God. Okay.
I got 2 things to ask you, man.
Like this. Okay. After that's done. The reason why you guys are first, A, you guys have a way easier schedule. B,
okay, interesting.
You guys are 21 and 11. In the West, that's like 5th place. You would not be. It would be a way closer discussion. You wouldn't be able to use that stats reference if they were in the West. If the Nuggets were in the East, they would be 3rd.
Okay,
pretty sure.
That's fair too. But I want to say this about the easier schedule. I actually have the schedule here for the Nuggets. I'm sorry. They lost to the Celtics. They lost to the Wizards. They beat the Cavs. They lost to the Hawks. They beat the Blazers. They beat the Lakers without Anthony Davis. They beat the Thunder, and they beat the Cavs. Does that sound like a easy or hard schedule to me? That's the Nuggets schedule. Very easy. The only hard game you could really say was the Celtics. They did lose to. And the Lakers, but they didn't have Anthony Davis. That's really good.
All right. We can talk about easy schedules, but you got to keep in mind, you guys played the Hawks, the Grizzlies, the Heat, the Celtics, the Pistons back to back. You guys got 15 balled by the by the Pistons.
All right, and you guys lost to the Wizards and the Hawks.
Fair. You guys got 15. You guys almost got damn near 20 balled by the Blazers, who has no defense.
Y'all lost to the Blazers too. What do you mean?
Fair. But we didn't get 20 balled.
It don't matter. A loss is a loss, no matter what. And
fair.
One thing you said just didn't make sense to me. You said Jokic missed 0 games and Embiid missed 5, but doesn't that mean the Nuggets have a better record because they have their star player? Shouldn't he be the most valuable? If you miss 0 games, shouldn't the Nuggets have way more wins than the Sixers? Even if the Nuggets were in the East, guess what? Jokic's still healthy. Shouldn't they have a better record? That's my point. Embiid, even when he's gone, their team is buns. 1-5.
They have Simmons. They have Simmons as their main scorer. That's why.
What'd you say?
They have Simmons as one of their main scorers. That's why.
Okay. The man who hates Ben Simmons is saying this, by the way. And again, I was going to say this as well. Jamal Murray's been popping off as of late. And if I'm going to say this, the past week or so, I think Jamal has been carrying that team just as much as Jokic. From the beginning of the season, I think Jokic is definitely the big carry. Jamal has a rough start from that bubble. Jamal compared to now, Jamal seems to be back. And I think that's why the Nuggets are winning, and that's why they're actually that good of a record.
All due respect, that's just cap. Anyways, I was saying, I just don't think Jokic has been putting up triple-double games consistently for the last month, the whole season. He's been putting them near triple-double. What center is putting up 27, 11, and 8 besides from Nikola? Embiid? No, because he doesn't know how to pass the ball, and he has a better team than the Nuggets. Put Nikola on the 76ers instead of Embiid. They're going right now. They'd be 26 and like 5.
That's like 4 more wins. But another thing, that doesn't make sense to me. And you did mention that Russell Westbrook was the only MVP to win and have a triple-double, right? But the only reason he won in my eyes, being the 6th seed, is because no one has seen a triple-double being averaged before Oscar Robertson. And that was decades ago. Decades, dog. It's been like, what, 3-4 years since Westbrook won? This is nothing new to us. We see triple-doubles every day. Bums drop triple-doubles. Freaking Jeremy Grant drop. He's not a bum, but Jeremy Grant dropped one. You'll see a bench warmer drop one sometimes. Like triple-doubles aren't like super rare anymore. You'll see them everywhere.
That's fair. But if the triple-doubles are super rare, why isn't Embiid getting them?
Because he doesn't need to. He's got Ben Simmons passing the ball. He's got Tobias Harris passing the ball. He's still getting 3 assists a game. But if you have a player like Ben Simmons, who's a playmaker at heart, who's a playmaker on the Nuggets? You tell me that.
Nikola, he does everything. That's the point.
Another playmaker. I'm saying another one.
Okay, take Nikola off. Take the Nikola off the Nuggets, and they're a lottery team.
I don't know about lottery team, but
they're borderline. They're like
I can say that about the Sixers. They'd probably be a fringe playoff team, maybe like an 8 seed at max.
See the difference.
You're
The
saying
Nuggets would have won more.
hypothetically.
The Nuggets would have won more than 30 games, but yet the 76ers would be fighting for a playoff spot.
Okay, but you're just saying they're gonna be a lottery team. That doesn't make it's true though.
All right, who did they have instead of Nikola?
Anyways, Anook, I'm done with my case. I feel like a lot on there. So, are you
Yeah.
done, or do you have any more to add?
I think I'm done for now.
Well, we're gonna ask some more questions, so it'll continue. But yeah, Evan, David, let's chime in a little.
Very interesting so far. You know, some nice back and forths. Mo brought up some good points, and I brought up a couple good points. Overall, I think this has been pretty good. But I do have a couple questions. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely gonna ask a question or two. So,
I have like 2 questions.
David, what do you think?
It's been a pretty, because I've seen some points that Hood could capitalize on without a doubt. He's just not a master debater.
Masturbator.
That's good. That's good.
Because there's a lot of contingencies and within Mo's whole plot that Hanuk could have capitalized on right there. And I feel like there's a lot that can be said that isn't being said right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's been pretty competitive. This isn't your guys' fault at all, but like I have a fixed mindset on who I think is MVP, so it's a little bogus, but I think it's been pretty good back and forth.
LeBron comes in out of nowhere and he's got a steel chair.
Hell no. You guys want to start asking questions? Do you want me to go first?
You go first, then.
I think this will be a fun one. You guys might take a while to answer this one. Who do you guys think gets further in the playoffs this season? Nuggets or Sixers? Both teams fully healthy.
Gotta be Philly. And
No, teams are.
what were we saying? Go ahead.
Both teams losing second round.
Both teams losing second round. So you're saying the same thing. So don't say no.
Okay. Never mind then. I guess there's no debate.
Well, what I'm going to say is they're definitely making it over, further than the Nuggets. 2 reasons. One, obviously, I'm not even going to deny this. The East is definitely easier than the West. Not going to deny that. And 2, obviously, I think this Philly team is built so much better than that Nuggets team. And everyone's been performing on this Philly team. Everybody.
Okay. And Hanuk, who do you think would win in a 7-game series between the two?
Nuggets and Philly.
Yeah.
The Nuggets would win in like 6 or 7.
Ooh. That'd be
Okay.
a good ass series.
That's wild. That's wild.
I mean, y'all could debate that, but Evan and Dave, why don't y'all ask your questions first?
Dave, you want to go first?
No.
Okay. Nice. All right, this question is more so pointed towards Hanuk because my question involves team records. Hanuk, in your eyes, how important is the team record when it comes to MVP? Because technically, Embiid is on the best team in the East, and technically Jokic is 7th in the West. How important is these teams' records coming? Or I don't know how to speak, but how important are the team records in this MVP?
I say team records are extremely important. I do think they're important, but looking at their records themselves, The Nuggets are 17-14, and the 76ers are 21-11. If there were like a huge difference in games, then I'd have more of a problem. But these teams are literally like 3 or 4 wins apart. It's just the seeding. If they were on a different such conferences, they'd be a way different conversation.
I do want to bring this one thing up. I know Ed asked you that question about that 7-game series or who would win between Philly and Nuggets, and you said Nuggets in 6 or 7, which doesn't make sense to me because the only game they've played this season, the Nuggets did win 115-103, but guess what? They didn't have Embiid. They didn't have half their roster. They started Tyrese Maxey, who dropped 42 on your guys, on Jokic, by the way.
Okay,
So-
that's not fair. They had their next best offensive weapon was a janitor.
That's what I'm saying. We only lost by 13. We don't have our MVP, and Tobias Harris has been playing at the All-Star level. So ain't no way in 6, 7 games.
They don't really play people if
Philly in
like
5.
that.
Philly in 5 or 6.
Okay.
A good series. I would love to watch that.
Hey, run the sim up in 2K after this.
You got any questions for any of us, Dave?
Yeah, my question kind of stems off of what you said because you said Embiid doesn't need to do all the extras that Jokic is doing right now,
Mhm.
which brings up a question in my mind as to really is Embiid in a sense playing in a positional role where he's part of a system, or is he needing to carry a load in a sense like Jokic is, where he's carrying the whole offensive load as a playmaker, where Embiid is in a sense playing as a post player to facilitate a team system?
I mean,
How does that dynamic compare between the two?
I agree with what you're saying here. Obviously, we could say, Jokic is more the offensive load, being the primary ball handler, but you got to look at it this way too. Philly has multiple ball handlers in their team. They have Ben Simmons, who's very ball heavy, Tobias Harris, who gets in the ball a good amount, and Embiid is more than a post scorer. Like I said, he's shooting 41% from the 3, and he's taking 3 a game, which is pretty good for a big man.
I'm just
It's very
saying, like
good.
his dominant game plan is
Oh,
playing the paint,
100%.
not like his.
He dominates in the post. Of course, we all know that, and he's going to do what he's best at, man. And like you did bring up that, Jokic does get more assists, and that's kind of between the system and Phil. He doesn't need Embiid to pass the ball. It wouldn't make sense. Who is he going to pass the ball to? Ben Simmons for 3? No, it doesn't make sense. Like,
So, do you think here? I guess my question is kind of encapsulates what I'm rambling about is what makes more sense, being a player playing to the best of their strengths, or the complete player whose facets lie throughout their entire game?
okay, 2 things. One thing, I don't think Jokic is the complete player. Definitely nowhere as close to the defensive end as Embiid, or even a good. I wouldn't even call him a good defending big man in general. He's average at best. He's average at best.
He's averaging 1 point. He's averaging more steals than Embiid, and he's averaging like almost a block a game. He's definitely an above average defender.
Why did Draymond Green win a Defensive Player of the Year? He doesn't put those numbers up. It's the impact you have on that team, and that's my point for MVP. The impact matters, and this answers your question too, Dave. The complete player doesn't matter. You could be like Michael Carter-Williams, his rookie year. He put up big numbers, but he was on a trash team. And He
won Rookie of the Year that year.
Garbage without him.
He won Rookie of the Year that year. So
That's what I'm saying. But look at him now.
because he's ass.
That's what I'm saying. I think Jokic is putting kind of empty stats. Like Hanuk said it himself. Without Jokic, the Nuggets are a lottery team. You said it yourself. This came out of your mouth, Hanuk.
Yeah.
The thing is, your argument kind of just fell on itself. You just said that the complete player doesn't win the award, but the complete player won the award that year.
That's Rookie of the Year, though. That's completely different. You can't compare Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Okay, come. We'll go through all the MVPs and tell me how many of them won just because they fit in the system and not just because they were not the complete player.
LeBron. Did he have a 3-pointer back in Miami? Did he have one back in Cleveland?
LeBron's the complete player. This is not a discussion.
At that time, he wasn't a 3-point shooter. He wasn't a threat like he is now.
Okay, I still think
Stephen Curry. Did he have the defense?
he was still
He
was an average defender. He was an average defender at best.
Did he have a 3-point shot? And he went back to back. Is he the complete player? No, people trash him for his 3-pointer. Steph gets trashed for his defense. LeBron used to get trashed for his 3-pointer. He can make 3s now. Like I'm saying, the complete player doesn't matter. The most valuable player is you're the most valuable to your team, and your team's doing good.
Okay, put Embiid on any other team, and is he performing like that? No.
Depends on what team you put it on.
Put Jokic in any other team, and he's guaranteeing he's playing up those same amount of stats, and his team's going to be pushing for a top 5 seed in any conference.
Top 5 seed, yeah, but Embiid's the 1 seed, so and he's pushing.
Embiid's a 1 seed because he's in a system that works for him. Put him in any other team.
Let me ask a question. I think there's 2 big differences between these 2 players. What do you guys value more? And Embiid's defense or Jokic's playmaking? What's more valuable?
Playmaking, that's very interesting. I mean, said a very, very popular quote, defense wins championships. And if you don't have defense from your center, who's clamping up?
Okay. You're forgetting that Embiid's a mid defender. I mean, Jokic is a mid defender. I'm sorry.
I'm about to have a heart attack.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right. It's like saying, like, if you have a mid defender, that's one of the greatest playmakers in the league, and for a big one of the great playmakers in history, for a big, are you gonna take that over someone that's just a defender? Zero playmaking.
It's not zero playmaking.
I could be better playmakers than Embiid, and I'm
gonna say one thing. You did mention that if Jokic was on any other team, he'd put up those insane stats, but you want to compare the guards that Jokic has to like any other team. A point guard, a natural point guard, or a guard in general, is one to pass the ball and be the playmaker for the team. Jamal Murray is not a playmaker. He's a score first guard. That's why he works with Jokic really well, because Jokic can be the facilitator. If Jokic played with a player like Russell Westbrook, perhaps, who gets about 10 assists a game, or like another point guard like Curry, who gets about 7, like John Morant, any of these players who put up point guard like numbers. Jamal Murray isn't your typical point guard. He's a score first guard.
He's a very typical point guard. He's just not pass first guard. There's many.
Exactly, and that's my point. That's why Jokic has that many assists. If he had a pass first point guard, he probably dropped down to like maybe 5 assists. Maybe similar to Embiid. Embiid's getting 3. I think he'd get like 5 more. 2 assists is not the big difference maker over like defense in a deep-way conversation. Philly being one of the best defensive teams in the league, regardless. I mean, come on.
All right, boys. How about all right, Dave and Evan, do you guys have anything else to say?
I don't have a set question, no.
David? All right, how about we've been going for a minute. It's been very competitive. How about y'all let's give you each like 2 minutes to make your closing statements. Does that sound fair?
Sure. Go ahead, Hank. You first.
Basically, I just want to close this out saying that Nikola is almost just as good as a scorer as Embiid, with a better 3-pointer. He's also just as good as a rebounder as Embiid, stats show. And he's also a way better facilitator than Embiid. He's also a better scorer than Embiid. He's going to be one of the only centers. He's 3 field goal, like free throw percentages away from being in the 50, 40, 90 club as a center, which will that's never been done in history before. So if he ups his free, he's the highest PER in the league. Also that. Embiid is like 3rd, I'm pretty sure, when it comes to PER. So Nikola is also the most used player in the league. He's one of the top. He's one very efficient player as compared to Embiid. It's basically when I close this out saying that the Nuggets would not be as good as a team without Nikola, and Nikola fits the role for the MVP.
All right, my closing statements. I've kind of said what I need to say, so I'm just gonna kind of like, Hanok, your closing statements didn't make sense to me. First thing you said is, Nikola Jokic is first in PER. Sure, he is, and Embiid's second, and by like 1, so not a big difference. And you said Jokic is going to be 50, 40, 90. Guess what? Literally, Embiid is 2% off free throw percentage to be in that conversation as well. It's not a big difference. Points, guess what? You said Jokic is a better scorer. Nope, Embiid's averaging more points. And then one thing you did say is Jokic is a more used player, has a higher usage rate. Doesn't that mean he gets more shots or the ball in his hands more? So, and Embiid's putting up more points and more rebounds and better defensive stats with the ball less in his hands. And you said the Nuggets wouldn't be as good without him, right? And they're not that good regardless. They're 7th in the West. So how much worse can they get? And that's all I got to say.
All right, boys. Good debate, man. That was pretty competitive, I'll say. I don't know how long it was.
It was a while.
That was a while.
That was like 20
20
minutes
or so.
That's like 25 minutes.
Yeah, rambling. Not a mom beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like I said, it went well. Maybe next time we'll be a little more organized. We'll have like time segments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, but anyways, that was good. If you guys want to pick a winner, I don't really care. It's up to you guys. If you want to pick one, Dave and Evan, it's up to you guys.
You decide, man. Who's the winner here?
I do have a winner.
You don't have a winner?
I do have a winner.
Ooh, let's hear it, Evan.
All right, so I just want to say overall, it was a good debate. There were some good points on both sides, and this is how I'm gonna base it. I think Jokic is a better player, but Mo won this debate. That's how I'm gonna say it.
I'll say pretty much this. I mean, I think both of you started out really strong, but Nook a little towards the end. Mo caught you with a couple of the stats. Like they're like their stats are really close. And plus, like I said, I already had a fixed mindset. Embiid's my MVP. I'm sorry.
Dave, you got something to say? You on Hanook's side or my side?
Tough.
Hanook's side or the winning side?
Some of Hanook's points were really solid, like because I do really think if Jokic gets put in a different team, he can put up some crazy numbers like that. And I feel like Embiid, although I feel like his just production line is just going to level out, and I feel like Jokic is just all around the more complete player. It's just that Hanook sometimes didn't know how to properly formulate a sentence.
Yeah.
And then you kind of crapped all over him with those final stats. So it's really tough. I feel like it's a lot closer than expected. I can't choose a winner. I don't know.
I mean, it was already going to.
At least he didn't get swept, Hanook. At least he didn't get swept. It's okay.
Oh, calm down, bro.
So throughout our shows, hopefully we'll do some more debates. We'll have different people involved. Our next debate, we're trying to decide right now. We're kind of stuck. If you have any suggestions, let us know. What do we got left for the show, boys? Just pick'ems, right?
Just know that whenever me and Ed debate, it's
me and Mo.
It's gonna be me stomping all over him.
Me and Mo always.
I'm here too. I'm here
Yeah,
too.
I want to have a debate with Evan. I think me and Evan can make some really, really solid points against each other. But we got to find something.
I would like to debate someone at some point.
I'll love to debate you, Evan. Love to debate you.
I find something I'm passionate on. I feel like it's over with. But I like I said, we need topics.
Yeah, me and Mo argue this point so often that it's insane.
Oh yeah, just for reference, you guys, we talk about this all the time. Like we all know Hanook's is a Sixers hater here. You guys know this.
That's not even. Have you ever Simmons like half his body part down his throat?
Okay, Simmons is a great player. That's all I can say. You know, these guys say I ride Simmons, quote unquote. But Simmons is a great player. He made the All-Star team for a reason. Even though I think
you kind of ride it like a question, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Like David jokingly rides MPJ. You genuinely ride that.
He doesn't jokingly. And you righted LeBron the other day.
I wouldn't say joke.
Even you're a certified LeBron hater.
I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm just saying.
You are a certified LeBron hater.
You can give me any topic on any side on any topic, and I'll beat David. That's all I'm saying. Like it could be most random thing that I don't even.
You're right here. David, who's the better player? LeBron and Ed. You got Christian Felicio. Go.
Oh,
easy.
I mean, how like LeBron's like what? How many? What's his pass record in the last 7 games? And look at the Bulls; they're on the come up. That's all I really gotta say.
I win. GG's. It's over.
Yep, it's over. David, don't even.
All right, let's get back.
All I'm saying is you have to say which shoe looks better on Quinn Snyder, left or right. I'm gonna win.
Dude, Quinn Snyder looks like a super villain, bro.
He looks like the Joker, pre-Joker.
All right. Mo, you want to talk about the pick'ems?
We gotta get into our pick'ems now. So let's update you guys on what's been going on. We've had a lot of games that's been played. So our first game was the Clippers versus the Jazz, and 4 of us did pick Utah, which did end up winning. Hanook, sorry, the Clips did lose, and and then the next game was Bulls versus the Kings, and again everyone had the Bulls besides Hanook. Sorry again, Hanook. And then the next game, shout out Hanook actually, Nets and Clips. Everyone else had the Nets besides David. He did pick the Clips. Sorry, Dave. My bad. I'm sorry. This game, good stuff, Hanook. Blazers versus Suns. Everyone had the Blazers besides Hanook, so nice. Oh, I'm sorry. David also had the Suns. David
I was
also
about to say, I don't remember.
no, David had the Suns. And then the next game was Atlanta versus Cleveland. I should have went with Cleveland. I always think how close this game's going to be. And then,
okay, you gotta. I know I reacted instantly saying Atlanta was going to win. You have to give me some leeway here. The Cavs were on a 9-game losing streak at the time.
13.
No, but like when we made the picks.
Oh, yeah.
When we made the picks.
but yeah, Atlanta did win that game.
Yeah.
Our next game
No,
was
Cleveland won.
Cleveland. I'm sorry, Cleveland won.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
about to
Shout out
say-
Lamar.
I'm
Shout
tripping.
out Lamar Stevens, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm tripping.
Trae Young.
And our next game was Lakers versus the Jazz. Everyone did have Utah besides me. I had the Lakers. The Lakers did end up losing. And
Yes.
that brings us to our records. So currently in last place is me. I'm at 14-10. David and Evan are tied at 15-9. And Ed and Hanuk are tied at 16-8.
Wow. We
Let's
are all
go.
so close. Jesus.
Wow, this is a close
Like-
one.
My
This is a very
Chiefs are
close one. This is going to come down right to the wire. We're 6 days away. 6 days away, man, from the end of the
Oh
month.
my God.
That's a shorter
Oh,
month.
really? I thought we were 3.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 more days. I forgot. It's February. Forgot we go till the 28th. So we have a few more days left, boys. So this is going to come down right to the wire.
Oh,
Also,
God.
if I pull this choke, I'm just never gonna play pick'ems
I
again.
need to win. I need to win. If I
I
don't
need
get
to win all 3, and I
So-
need to lose all
So, how many more pick'ems for the month do we have, Mo? You said 3?
3
3,
more,
right?
it goes till the 28th, man. Well, today's going to be the 25th. So 3 more
Let's
games.
hear them.
3 games. So a first game, Knicks versus the Kings.
Kings.
I'm gonna go. I'm thinking. Are there any big injuries that we're aware of?
Not really. I mean, Bagley's back. Holmes is back. Fox is going to be playing. Randall's playing. I'm pretty sure everyone on that team is healthy.
Give me Sacramento.
Kings.
Who's at home?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going with Knicks, just so you know.
I was also leaning towards the Knicks.
That's 2 and 2. What do you got, Dave?
Putting me on the spot, huh? My intuition's telling me the Knicks.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Knicks with you.
Me and
Interesting.
Hank on Sacramento train.
Yeah.
We're first place for a reason.
Ed's technically in first place because he has that 1-game cushion, which I didn't count yet, just so you guys know. Don't forget about that, guys. Ed will have a 1-game cushion because he did
So
win.
Ed is automatically like safe for the rest of the month.
Yeah, Ed is automatically safe. So Ed, you don't have
Unless
to
he
worry
gets all
about that.
these 3 wrong and you get 1, 2 right.
No, he can't. 'Cause
Actually,
if he
no,
tie-
That's true.
No, if he tie-
Ed gets him wrong.
okay. If he's what's his record? Actually, we'll figure that out
He's
after.
tied with
Yeah,
you.
let's just make
Yeah,
this
let's
big.
just go. Yeah,
Y'all will find out. And our next game is going to be Lakers versus the Blazers, 2 of which are missing 2 of their co-stars, McCollum with Dame and AD with Dame Lillard. Or with
Wow.
LeBron, sorry.
That's a good one, bro.
Taking
Especially with the
Lakers.
missing pieces, like you said.
I'm taking
Oh, you
Lakers.
I said that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
No one's gonna stop. If Canner can barely stop Embiid, it's not stopping LeBron.
Yeah, but Canada's not gonna be guarding LeBron.
I
For the
know,
most
I know.
part.
You're taking
Dumbass
the Lakers, Anook?
What'd you say,
God
David?
damn it. I was trying to get some Embiid slander, sorry. Nah, I'm going Lakers.
I'm gonna have to go Lakers.
LeBron, the greatest player of all time.
I'm going with the
Yeah,
Blazers,
I'll go LA.
Yeah, I'll take the Lakers.
I'm going with the Blazers. This could really hurt me right here. Really, really hurt me.
It could help.
If
It could either
you
help
get
you
this
or-
wrong, you automatically lose, right?
Yeah, if I get, yeah, pretty much. Because I'm only 1 game behind. So I mean, anything could happen, but still, I mean, I guess you guys will find out at the next episode. And our very last game at the end of the month is the Pelicans versus the Spurs. Another good game in my opinion.
Go. Pelicans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pels.
Pellies.
Is there not any games on the 28th?
They're pretty trash.
I'm going to the.
Pellies.
I'm going with the Pels.
What's the team?
Spurs will be fully healthy. So you guys still going Pels?
What was the team? Warriors, Pelicans?
No,
No,
Pelicans
Spurs.
Spurs.
Oh, Pelicans, Spurs. Oh,
I'm
Spurs.
Pelicans.
You going Spurs, Anook?
Yeah.
I'm sticking Pels too.
It'll be a good one, boys.
It's gonna be
Oh
close.
God, man.
And who's the last
Gotta
one?
go to Pellies.
That is the last one.
Just to get started on the month of March, I just have one more game: the Clippers versus the Bucks.
Clippers.
Yeah,
Bucks.
I'm gonna go Clippers.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
All injuries aside, Clippers.
I'm going Bucks.
Dave?
Yeah, I said Clips.
Nope. I'm gonna say Bucks. I'm gonna say Bucks.
Mean
I heard you
Mo.
say it, but I'm gonna say Bucks. Yeah. All right. So now we will update you guys on the records. And if you guys have any ideas for some punishments and some forfeits, let us know. We still haven't thought of one yet. I mean, anyone could lose here, so think of some good ones, guys. Think of some good ones.
We're gonna make another one of those IRL bids for a punishment, right, guys?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Hopefully.
David, take us away.
Take us home, Dave.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'd like to thank you for once again tuning in to our broadcasts, our podcasts, and be sure to continue to follow us on the 3 major platforms. We're on Spotify. Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Thank you guys for showing all the love and support. We're going to continue bringing content throughout the next few weeks and so on. See everybody. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thanks for listening, y'all.